Call the September 11th Parker Water Board meeting to order. From staff, we have Cassidy Ramsey, Deborah Lishansky, Jason Leslie, Heather Justice, James Roach, and Jason Mann, and our manager, Ron Red, and our legal counsel, Jeff Parker. From board, we've got Bill Wasserman, we've got Brooke Booth, myself, Merlin Klotz, Don Langley, and Robert Canal. Time for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any unscheduled items of public interest? Seeing none. Are there changes or additions to the agenda?
We have none.
Any from the staff, from the board? None here. Any board comments?
I think since it's September 11th and given all the crazy things that have gone on in the last couple days, I think we just need to be thankful for family and for our country and for the freedoms that we enjoy, and we should really not take those for granted.
Any other comments? Okay. Leadership team comments.
Okay, I'll start us off, but I first want to introduce Cassidy. She's learning how to help us with the meetings, so when Deborah wants to take a night off, so
Oh no, that ain't happening.
yeah. And so you'll see more and more of her. So she works with James in operations, so we appreciate her giving us her evening. So I just have, the intent tonight is to make these very, very short so we can spend most of our time on the work session. So I just want to point out we're down 270 acre feet in the reservoir, again expected. But I was trying to figure out a way to put this in context because the graphs sometimes aren't telling the whole story. So we typically use around 9,000 acre feet of water a year for our community. And again, this is hard for me to say because it's not precise. So I'll just put that out there. Around a little less than half of the water we produce of that 9,000 acre feet is around 3 billion gallons, so it's a big number. About half of that goes on irrigation. So it's just kind of the typical community. We're hoping to see that go down over time. So I just did some numbers, and we still got another month of irrigation, most likely, this September. So again, it's not accurate, but based on that information, we have used 1,200 acre feet of water out of the reservoir in the last 3.5 months, a little over 3.5 months. And that accounts for about 20 to 25% of our water for irrigation, just to kind of put it in context. So it feels like a lot, and it is a lot, and there's evaporation with that as well. But it's a good sign that we're up above 25,000 going into the winter. So I just want to encourage everyone this time of year always goes down, but we're hoping to see some stabilization and that coming back up. So anyway, just a little flavor to the graph tonight. And I think the next presentation is James with his operation update.
Yep, it's time for the numbers. So what's interesting about this is that you can see that June, July, and August production very close for the last 3 months, pretty close on the well house flows, and receiving water from the water plant. And our wastewater plant is 3.8, very, very similar to the last 3 months, which is good. Pumping up to Reuter Hess in August, 74.8 million gallons. And what Ron just mentioned about the Reuter Hess reservoir volume at 25,634 when this report was made. So looking at August of 2024, the total 492.7 million gallons of production. In August 2025 at 551.6, almost 60 million gallons more this year from last year. And on the chart, you can see where the majority of the water is coming from the wells. Water quality calls, you'll see that giant spike in July, and that was part of the chlorine conversion and changing that and cleaning the distribution system. But I would like to point out that if you look at this as a 12-month rolling comparison, if you look at August of last year, it's down from there. And you can see that the water quality concerns are down from March and April. And what we did in the distribution system is going to help our customers in the long run. And we're going to provide them with even better quality water because of what we did with that conversion. So it was an important step.
I mean, so August was, I mean, it looks like 5 calls maybe?
Yeah, something like that. Not very many.
The phone just stopped ringing.
Yeah. Once we had notified them that happened and that the taste and the odors went away, it really was part of the reason why we did that conversion, was to get rid of that taste and odor issue associated with biofilm. So I'm looking forward to seeing low numbers going forward. I probably just jinxed myself, but I hope not.
It's good.
Yeah. Locates 1,400, a little bit less than last month, and just a tiny bit associated with WISE, 31 of those. That's it for the numbers for August.
So just out of curiosity, with the filters we put, are we completely done now with filtering on the wells?
No, we still have Riata that's being constructed, the Riata filtration plant.
Is that, I know at my house, I get the red ring around the toilet, and it just, I'm thinking, you know, where I'm at, I'm being serviced by either the water treatment plant or, you know, the wells there, but it just seems like I shouldn't be getting that as much as I am.
You should be getting less than you were before we started this project for certain. But if you're still getting that, I'd be interested in seeing, because we've actually, it's tremendous. I don't remember the percentages or the numbers off the top of my head, but the percentages are tremendous that have dropped out of our distribution system.
Well, what I'll do is, I just cleaned the other day with a pumice to get to get that out. So we'll see if it reappears.
Yeah, please let me know.
Yeah.
That's me. Really briefly, I just wanted to let you know that, as you know, the trial was vacated that we had scheduled for just last month for our Platte Valley Water Project. The Castle Rock trial was supposed to follow our trial, as they were going to be adding on to our project. It's scheduled for the last 3 weeks of October 2026. Castle Rock really can't go to trial until we go to trial. So we've been having these discussions about consolidating our cases for just one trial. So it basically wouldn't mean that we're all joining the same case, but we're consolidating the cases just for trial purposes. We have separate decrees. Lower South Platte is on board with that. People have been drafting, actually, your water attorney drafted a motion to consolidate, revised by Castle Rock. It looks really good. I took a look at it. We're going to be having some phone calls with the opposers, because basically some of the opposers would prefer it. They kind of want to understand our project with Castle Rock involved versus seeing ours and then dealing with Castle Rock separately. So I'm hopeful that we'll get a court order in the next month or so that will allow us to basically do our trial in October of 2026 along with Castle Rock, get them both done, and hopefully be over with all of this sooner than we had hoped. But it's going to depend upon conversations with the opposers. We hope they'll all agree, but they're all having conversations with their boards and their attorneys. And I'll keep you up to date when we have more information. But I'm optimistic that we could end up getting this moving quicker than we'd hoped.
How many opposers do we have at this point?
Oh, man, how many do we have in
Is there a lot, or just 2 or 3, or?
15?
We have about 50 opposers.
But how many are
5-0
left
or
now?
1-5?
5-0.
5-0.
But we have, how many left now? 20?
30.
30, okay, yeah.
Because you still have to count the opposers that have decided they're still opposing, but they're not going to participate in trial. So they're waiting until there's a decree, and then they'll sign off. So they're still technically opposing.
So about 20 active opposers, I think,
Yes.
yeah. And there's a considerable overlap with our case in Castle Rock, but not entirely, so.
And regardless whether we consolidate it or not, I think I'm hopeful we are. I think it's a good idea. But regardless of the 3 principals, myself, Joe Frank from Lower, and Mark Marlowe from Castle Rock, we will be meeting with those 20-plus opposers that are actively involved and trying to get this settled by mid next year, because we don't want to go to court, and we're pretty close to settling. We were working our way towards that before the trial, and so it's really down to essentially like 2 issues, and I think we can get it settled, but it's going to take energy and effort to re-kick that in. So.
I guess the sooner that our trial is going to happen, the quicker we can settle. It always seems like settlement happens when your trial gets closer, so. Better than 2027, which was probably our next available trial date, so. Yep, that's all I have.
Okay, so that was all the leadership team and legal already. Jared didn't even say a word.
And for tonight.
Okay. Okay.
Everything's smooth.
Okay, approval of minutes, August 28th, 2025. Does anybody have any changes or corrections to that? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a vote? Yes.
Yes.
Accounts payable, August 16th to the 31st. Do we have any comments on it, unresolved questions on it? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second?
We have a vote?
Yes.
Yes. 5-minute recess.
Okay, so just so the board knows, we will record the meeting, but it won't be streaming. So we have a record of it. But what we'll do is we'll go from here to our work session side and set up for that.